What's up, guys? We're back with another video. This will be a little short video on the Dodge Dakota. Today's video, damn, to get some new hangers for this one again. Okay, so on today's video, guys, we have the Dodge Dakota. We have I'm gonna replace the battery cables on it because I had a knife. Let me get a knife right quick. All right, so we're gonna replace the battery cables because when I bought this truck, the terminals were actually all busted and shit. I did a quick repair, and now it's kind of wearing me. It's too much playing these things. This one doesn't even look like it's holding in the lug. Then you come over here. These look a little bit better, but it still doesn't satisfy me. And then we go to the fuse box, and this one's like the sleeve is peeling, and it looks all corroded and shit, like it's fixing to break. The red one does too. So what we're gonna do, we're just gonna replace these wires, cables today. The negative is actually an OEM product. It has the one that goes from the fuse box to the alternator, and then your 2 ground straps. So this one is actually for the Dakota. The positive, it's very similar to the one in the Dakota, but it's actually for a Ram. But that's okay because this one right here that goes to the fuse box, it's kind of like a little bit too stretched. I feel like it's got too much bending. And this one is like a little bit more of a slack, so I can actually like attach it there and twist the terminal this way to give it more slack. So that's gonna replace that, and then this one just runs all the way to the starter, and the starter trigger wire, it's somewhere down here as well, attached to that red one, but we'll make it work, no worries. Let's go ahead and start ripping out the old ones. Now we're gonna put in the new ones, and yep, let's do that. And let me get some tools, my creeper, let's get going. All right, so what we want to do first is disconnect the positive terminal. Well, maybe the negative terminal actually. It's also going to be a 13. Use a wrench. So you want to disconnect both of your terminals, starting off with the negative. Okay. And from there, I still had to undo my amplifier power wire. But then right there, we're going to disconnect the positive as well. And if this thing doesn't fall, okay. So that's that. We're gonna disconnect everything in the engine bay, then we're gonna go underneath and disconnect the starter. So let me go ahead and undo my amplifier power wire, and then we're gonna disconnect it from here. Then we're gonna route the new replacements the same way the OEM is. So let me disconnect the one from the fuse box, and it should be a 13 as well, maybe. Red one is. Disconnect it. That main fuse doesn't look very healthy either, but it's still working, so we're gonna leave it alone. disconnect this from here. And that one should be a 10. Yeah, 10 it is. Let's drop that in the engine bay. Okay. Put that nut over there as well. Then comes off like that. I'm gonna get a wire brush. Maybe I need to clean off some of that corrosion for better contact. So let me do that and we can keep on trucking. So as you guys can see here, I got a little bit too ahead already. But we took off the ugly one. It's over here. We put the new one, which is the ram, but it fits perfectly fine. The slack, I'm trying to tuck it in here. And maybe zip tie it right there. It's a little hole right there in the battery tray. But it works perfectly fine. You can see this is perfectly slack. It bolts on here perfectly fine. It's tied into the battery. I have my amplifier power wire here. And it covers it up pretty damn good. So now it's time to go underneath the truck to the starter and hook up the starter cable. Throw all that slack underneath. For the new one as well, the new negative. I think it's this one or the other one. It's gotta be this one. Well, let me find out. But I'm gonna go ahead and route the negatives as well and get it done. Then we're going underneath the truck, hook up the starter to the power. And I did clean off this ground and not the ground. I did clean off this what do you call this shit? This little chrome piece, I did clean it off to make better contact. Took off the main fuse, cleaned it off as well. So there's no issues there. There's no issues at all. I just want to get the truck cleaned up a little bit more. So let's go ahead and get to it. I'm gonna route the negatives as well. I have a negative point down there, another negative point's over here. So it should be pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead and do it. All right, guys, so I have the negative out. The only thing that I did have issues with was the wire that runs from the fuse box to the alternator. Because of that little plastic guard, it's a little bit too small, snugged, and the lug that would go in there, it's a little slim, and that other one was a little bit too big. And this is why I want to replace it as well. You can see it was opening there, or ripping, tearing, whatever you guys want to call it. But it's out. I'm gonna take those terminals off and hold them for like another car or whatever. Dispose this. I used the grinder to grind down that lug that was a little bit too big to go in the alternator. We're gonna put some wire loom on this wire just to protect it so it won't get like cheap or anything. We have the ground tied up, power tied up. You can see we got power in the hood now. Zip tied the slack together. Now I need to go underneath the truck and hook up my starter wire, and that'll be it. So let's get underneath the truck, get my creeper out, get the creeper out, and swap out cables. All right, guys, so I can say, well, I think we can finally say the new wires are New battery cables are installed. This little fucking zip tie right here is on my nerves. So I think we can say everything is installed, guys. I have access to my oil fill. Once again, I think everything's installed. Everything's tightened down. We have our grounds. Let's give this baby a start. Give it a start and cross our fingers. There's no fires. Door chimes always good. Oh yeah. Good. Good shit. Starts right up. The only thing about these positive power cables is that the starter trigger wire, it was part of the actual OEM. It was wrapped up around it, but I took it off. It has two connectors at both ends, one at the starter and one right here. I just zip tied it to the power cables. I got it away from the I'm trying to see if I can find a better way to route these things, but evidently not. But anyways, we got new power cables. These are not lifting or peeling. I zip tied it away from the headers because we do have Gibson headers, guys. I swear, for the smallest job ever, I don't know about you guys, but I make a fucking mess for the smallest fucking job. Whenever you get to the starter, you're gonna have to, unless you have eyes on your fingers, you're gonna have to remove it to see where it connects at the very bottom. You're gonna have to see where it connects at the very bottom, and it's a tough job when you're at the starter because it's really crowded. I don't know why Chrysler did that shit, but my '99 Jeep Grand Cherokee, the WJ, was the same way. It was hard as shit to get the ratchet and one of the upper bolts on top of the starter. When you get to there, you'll see what I mean. But sometimes you just gotta like figure it out, guys. Well, you always gotta figure it out. I really wish I could show you guys what I meant when it came to the starter, but it was just a tough ass job as it was already, and I was not thinking about recording or filming anything, guys. But when you get to that point, you'll see exactly what I mean. These are the part numbers for the positive cables. And this is the part number for the negative cables. So I bought all of this off of eBay, but they're actually good cables. They're not any Chinese knockoff brands. Now with that being said, guys, I wanted to give you guys a review on the Dakota with the new motor. What we did to it, what we didn't do to it. So we can close this video off, guys. The Dakota, I'm gonna tell you from the beginning to the end. Dakota, when I bought it, I checked out the oil level like any other person would when purchasing a car. The truck did belong to a old man. I don't know. In my thought, I'm just like, okay, well, if it's an old man, you know, probably doesn't know a thing about cars. Probably takes it to like a fast lube place. Okay, well, I popped the hood. I checked the oil. The oil was dark as shit. Dark as shit, and it was overfilled. I'm like, why in the hell would it be overfilled? So that started making me think. I did get the guy to knock off a couple of $1,000s off the truck. He was asking $6,000 just because it was a rare truck, which it is a rare truck. I totally agree on that. That's why I decided to purchase it as well. I know some of you guys will be like, well, you can find a fucking Dakota anywhere. Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can find RTs on Marketplace. But the blue, at least this paint code, Intense Blue, you have to try your fucking best to find it. And when you find it, I promise you not gonna be in the great conditions, but if you find it, you better fucking buy it. But anyways, I decided to buy it. I got the guy to knock off about a couple of $1,000 down. We made a deal. The truck drove fine. Don't get me wrong. It drove fine from Tennessee all the way to North Carolina. AC did need a recharge. So the AC was working. Everything was working on this truck like it should. It did have some cosmetic issues. Some of you guys, if you watched the previous videos, it's came long ways. Well, when I got it home, I changed all the fluids. I did a coolant flush. And when I opened the radiator cap, I saw like some silicone type of thing. To me, it looked like a gasket repair. Well, you put in the fucking motor when the head gasket starts leaking. Okay, so I did a flush. I got a new thermostat for it, which was a 195. That's what it calls for. So I started noticing that when I would come to like complete stops or the truck was idling at the moment, it would start like not overheating, but the temperature would start to climb. And I was told by a lot of people that it was normal because it only has a fan clutch. It was operating off a fan clutch. But my gut, I don't know if you guys, but my gut, when my gut tells me something, I better go with my fucking gut. To me, my gut would say that was not normal. I mean, the temperature should not fucking climb, at least not a lot. And this one was climbing a lot, but not to the point of overheating. So I went and got the electrical fans, SPAL. I have it right here, so if any of y'all are interested in it, I am selling it. SPAL 2000 CFMs with a jag shroud. I made it to the plug and play harness. You plug it in right here and over here. Boom. Just fuse tap. You get your relay, heavy duty fuse, and I have the coolant hose with the trigger switch. So anyways, I went and got electrical fans. I had to ditch the mechanical fan, and the truck was doing better. Well, I started noticing every time that I would like do an oil change, it was consuming oil like a motherfucker. So, okay, well maybe the truck is a 24-year-old truck. I got tired of checking my oil fluids. I mean, you're supposed to check them regardless. You know, you just don't want to take off without checking your oil every damn day. You do have that one person that wants to fuck around with your car and then not let you know. But anyways, I got tired of checking it every fucking day. And then they would come to like where I would go to like a cold start and blue smoke will come out my tailpipes. So at that point, I was like, that's a red flag. The truck's gonna fuck up eventually. I spoke to a mechanic and he said, hey man, you have two options. Get it rebuilt while you can. If the truck ain't too fucked, we can salvage a lot of things. My main concern was salvaging the motor and the heads, obviously. And I told him that's cool. You know, go ahead and do your thing. Took it to him. He took it apart. We shipped it to the machine shop to get it cleaned out, cleaned, honed, everything. Even the heads. They were gonna get some head work done, like replace the valve seals because it was leaking as well. A lot of shit was gonna go on in this truck. And I was recommended to do the rebuild. It's good to keep it standard or stock. stock specs. And machine shop called, and he said that my heads were cracked. So you have your head, then you have your exhaust valve, intake valve, exhaust valve, intake valve, exhaust valve, intake valve. Well, that little material of head in between the exhaust intake valve, it was cracked on all two heads and all the valve cells. It was cracked. Okay, well maybe that explained why the truck was not overheating, but temperatures were climbing. That also explains why it was consuming oil. Well, not really, but then he took out 2 pistons, one from each side of the block. Well, the last ring on the piston was not spinning. And every time I would like not floor it, but try to like pick up some highway speeds in the Dakota, it would start like a little knocking, ticking noise, like really, really bad. And then, well, in this case, the truck was fucked. The block was salvageable. I could have gone aftermarket heads, but they were $500 a piece. They were not standard specs. At this point, I want to keep the Dakota stock as possible. I did want to go ahead and cam it, but that was out of my budget at the moment. I really can't do nothing with this Dakota performance-wise that would avoid the warranty, because the block has a 4-year warranty. So, well, the motor in general has a 4-year warranty. So if I want to do anything to it, it's suck it up, lose out in the warranty, or wait 4 years and cross my fingers everything goes well with this motor. But we did do Gibson headers, shorty headers, and Mopar Magnum valve covers. The reason why I did that was because they're taller valve covers, so whenever you cam the truck, you get a bigger rocker. It won't knock on the stock OEM valve covers, which I do have those too. If anybody's interested, message down below. I'll tag you in my social media. That's my Instagram. If you want to message me about the stock valve covers, I have them out here because I was washing them yesterday. Then I cut my grass and I got grass on them, but I can always clean them up for you guys. And I have the stock headers as well. These are not cracked at all. They just look like that. I don't know why. Cast iron maybe. I have those for sale. Shoot me a message on my Instagram, which is right there, and you can probably get a good deal on those. I just don't want to throw them away either, and I don't have a space to put anything at anymore. So that's that, guys. Like I said, we got Mopar Magnum valve covers, and we got Gibson shorty headers, which sound amazing. But that's the T on the Dakota. We went back to mechanical fans. To me, in my opinion, nothing beats an OEM standard truck. With the battery cables, I'm sure somebody would say and is going to say, well, you should have just made your own cables. You should have got a thicker gauge. You should have done this and that. Yeah, I could have. I'm not going to say I wouldn't. That was my actual thought at the beginning. But to me, guys, nothing beats this clean OEM look. Brand new. Brand new. I might have to like notch out that rubber piece for the aftermarket amplifier wire. Got my ground. We got the alternator cable running over here to the alternator. We have the starter hooked up. We got the starter trigger wire hooked up. We got it away from the header, so it's not going to get caught or heat up on anything. But guys, that's the T. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Next video, maybe we'll start working on the neon. Finally, we got the Dakota back. I wanted to get an exhaust for the Hellcat, but I kind of want to save those funds and put them towards the SRT4 build. I've been on that build for the past 4 years, I think. And now we have the block assembled. We have the transmission there. We have the car back. Well, we have the car. We got the Dakota back, so I can actually daily this truck and not have to worry about dailying the neon. Worst case, this thing fucks up, knocking on wood. I do have 2 more cars that I can drive a couple of days. Also, if anybody's interested in some tires, they're 275 40 R20s all around. Brand are Siloon, some Chinese shit. 2 are in perfect condition, almost brand new, and 2 are a little weared out from burnouts, but they're still good, in my opinion, for an emergency tire. I got 4 of these. Those came off the Hellcat wheels that I purchased for the Hellcat. And I got some needles for these. So the 2 bad ones were in the rear. Obviously, guys was doing burnouts, I'm assuming, but they're still good condition, good emergency tires, good burnout tires, whatever you guys want to use them for. Y'all message me. I'm willing to work with you guys. Shipping, buyer will pay shipping on both valve covers and intake manifolds. Exhaust manifolds for the Dakota and tires. Let me know. Y'all saw my social media, Instagram on my car already. Y'all message me there, and we can work out something. I'll give y'all a good deal, but y'all will pay for shipping. That's all I gotta say. I think that's gonna conclude our video, guys. Y'all like the video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below. I know it took a while to upload, but I promise you guys, I'm gonna start doing more uploads now that we have the Dakota back. We can actually work on the Neon. And I'm gonna go ahead and start ordering more things for the Neon. So you guys like and subscribe. Oh, in September 4th to the 8th, I think, it's Mustang week. We will be out there with the Hellcat. I will be leaving that Wednesday and coming back Sunday. So I might record a vlog here and there of the crazy car meets, burnouts, whatever they do out there. I know I'm not driving a Mustang, but my brother does have a Mustang 5.0. A couple of friends have Mustangs 5.0s. So we're going to go out there, and I'm going to just tag along with the King, the Hellcat. I'm going to tag out there with the Hellcat and have a fun time. My first time going for a Mustang week. We went out there for Mustang Fest last year, but it was not the same thing because it was Mustang's Fest first event. There was a word that was saying that Mustang Week was no longer going to happen, but somebody went out there and bought bragging rights for Mustang Week. So we're going to be out there in Mustang Week, September. It's from the 4th to the 8th, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm going to be out there Wednesday till Sunday morning. So y'all guys stay tuned for one of those vlogs. And as soon as we get back, guys, we'll probably start on the Neon and see how that build goes. I built this shit myself. Well, not completely. Like piston rings, pistons were done by machine shop. The head was bored out to like 0.20 with Wiseco pistons. How about the JMF intake manifold? How about the head with oversized valves from Modern Performance? We have our aluminum oil cooler. Right here, it has a little port for oil pressure. So this is half-ass built by me and half-ass built by a professional. So if anything goes wrong with this motor, guys, knocking on wood, I'm going to give me some holy water too, spread on this motherfucker before we start it. But if anything wants to go wrong, guys, it was going to be on my end. At the end of the day, we're learning. And if we want to learn, we got to fuck shit up. Unfortunately, that's how it goes. And unfortunately, shit's expensive. But that's just a hobby that I chose to do, that I'm interested in. And in the car scene, nothing goes the way you want it to go. But it's going to be actually my first motor swap, my first build. And if shit goes wrong, guys, don't bow your head. Keep your head up and keep rolling. That's just what it is about. Don't give up on your dreams. You work for your shit. You stay on your shit for you. Not to please other people. Do it for you. Whatever you do it for you. You enjoy it, you do it. That's all I can say, really. I have a lot of people that have a lot of bad comments to say towards my builds. which I really don't give a shit. At the end of the day, it's my builds. I'll work for it. I'm sure half of the people that talk shit about me or my builds are nowhere near where I'm at. I'm still being humble about my things. But if you're going to try to come at me, please come at me when you have more than me. Plain and simple, guys. So keep your head up. All of you guys out there that are trying to do something else in life as well, you guys keep rolling, keep trucking. Sometimes it takes longer for others to accomplish things. Sometimes other people have better opportunities, but it doesn't mean give up. I think enough talking for today, for this video, for this vlog. Enough talking. Stay blessed, and I'll catch you in the next one, guys. Peace.